Hi everyone, and welcome to Rum Runner Dance. I'm Dan Genovese. Today we're making a classic tiki cocktail, the Bumboat.
All aboard! Oh, blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down. To me way, blow the man down. Blow the man down, bullies, blow him away. Give me some time to blow the man down.
For today's cocktail, the Bumboat, comes to us courtesy of Martin and Rebecca Cate's excellent book, Smuggler's Cove. I talk a lot about this book, and actually a lot of the cocktails that we did either come from their book or is his version of the adaptation of that cocktail. But I never really got into why. If you have not read their book, Martin Cate and Rebecca Cate lay out this book in such a way that it doesn't just tell you a bunch of cocktail recipes and how to make them. It does provide some history to it, although to be fair, it's only really targeted on certain cocktails and their history of it. And Beach Bum Berry kind of goes into a lot more history about specific cocktails and the evolution of those cocktails throughout time. But where Martin and Rebecca Cate's book really shines is that they don't just explain the cocktail. They categorize them into a set of periods within the tiki lifespan, not just talking about who the big influencers were, but what's the palette of a tiki cocktail, and then also what's the construction of it. What are rums? What rums are good? How do you classify rums? And then how do you take those rums and put them into cocktails? That's where the value of the book really, for me, lies. The book's price is completely worth it just on the chapter about rum. Rum is so widely different between different distillers and different regions that sometimes it's regulated, like Agricole rum from Martinique has specific standards that need to be met, but other rums don't, and some of them are really uncontrolled. And there's some good rum out there, really good rum, and there's some real rum out there too. So, you know, that's why I'm saying go and look at their book, because just because a rum is widely available doesn't make it good. Just means that it's sold a lot. That's it. All right, so with this, we're gonna dive into this cocktail. Cool thing about this cocktail, I'm gonna say right now, is they offer to present it inside of a hollowed out pineapple. Gonna be honest, I couldn't get a hollowed out pineapple for today to do it. Get the book and you could actually see how to do it. Click my Amazon link below, go to my store. It actually has the tool that you need in order to hollow out the pineapple. It's real easy, and actually, once you're done with it, you have a bunch of pineapple rings, cut those up and put them in a fruit salad. There you go. All right, so for today, drink mixer tin, we're gonna start out with a little bit different of an ingredient. We have almond extract, which is not common to be used inside of many drinks, but there are a few tiki cocktails that call for it. I'm just gonna get myself a little dropper here, a little medicine dropper, and we're just gonna put in 3 drops. These little tiny droppers are really good to have. If you didn't ever buy bitters that are in a dropper, you can grab those really cheap. They're like a couple of bucks to grab a bunch of them. I'll put a link below in my Amazon store that you can pick them up. They're super cheap and they're definitely worth it to get a lot more precise with small measurements of things. Next, we're gonna put in an excellent product. This is Bitterman's Tiki Bitters. And these are really, really tasty. It's a bunch of different spices inside of a bitters, and it's fantastic. I'm actually kind of surprised that more drinks don't call for it, but this one does, and I'm very happy that it does. We're gonna need 6 drops of this guy in there. I mean, it has such a great smell to it. It's like clove and cinnamon. It's like immediately when you open the bottle, it's absolutely awesome. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start to get into our juices. This is 100% fresh juice, pineapple juice. Below, I actually give a link to the centrifuge juicer that I use. If you don't want to spend that much on it, You could always get fresh squeezed pineapple juice from a store. That's acceptable. If you can't get that, grab some canned or bottled pineapple juice. Look for one that's 100% pineapple juice and it's unsweetened. You don't want something from concentrate. The Dole unsweetened brand is perfect for this. You're gonna need 2 ounces. All right, next, we're gonna balance out that sweet with a little bit of sour. This one's gonna be fresh lemon juice. We're gonna need 1.5 ounces of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Okay. Next, we're gonna keep with the spiciness of this, which is a beautiful part of this drink. We'll get to it when we start to taste it. We're gonna do cinnamon syrup, 3/4 ounce. This is the same one that's recommended in Martin and Rebecca Kate's book, so it's a 2-to-1 cinnamon syrup, and I use Ceylon cinnamon to make my cinnamon syrup. Okay. Next, we're gonna get into our spirits here. The first one we're gonna use is rye whiskey. I love straight rye whiskey, and this rye whiskey from Few Spirits here in Evanston, Illinois is absolutely phenomenal. Any of their products, buy it. Any of their whiskeys, outstanding. I actually believe there's most of the whiskeys I like come from the traditional bourbon states, right? Tennessee, Kentucky. You know, those are the places I normally prefer when I'm grabbing a whiskey. This is one of those exceptions. They are absolutely out of this world good, and they're local here. They're in Evanston, Illinois. It's just north of Chicago, so I can get this stuff real easy. If you can find it, grab this stuff. We're going to need 1 ounce of rye whiskey. While not called for it in Martin and Rebecca Kate's book, whenever you're using a rye whiskey in a tiki cocktail, make sure that it's at least 90 proof. It's a better quality normally, and it's normally made without additives. And look for the word straight. So straight rye also means that there's no flavor additives to it too. Next, we need some rum, of course, right? So for this one, we need a lightly aged rum, and as you heard me say multiple times, color doesn't mean light, okay? Lightly aged can be colored. The light colored, pure crystal clear rums are just charcoal filtered. So this one I'm gonna go with, I like a Jamaican one in here. I like a little bit of funk to add to it. So I like the Appleton Estate to go into this one right here. We're gonna need 1 ounce of lightly aged rum. Denison 3-year, another great one that you can put in here. Plantation 3-star, another excellent one that you can put in here instead of these. Okay, now that takes care of the drink, of the spirits and everything for now. I'm gonna wipe the hands off here quick, and then what we're gonna do is grab ourselves some ice. We're gonna do 12 ounces of crushed ice here. And we're going to flash blend this for about 4 seconds. All right. Remember, make sure that you're careful when you're flash blending when you have pineapple juice. It tends to foam up real quick, and the foam doesn't deflate. It stays foamy. So make sure that you pick a big enough glass for this. In this case, I am doing a hurricane glass. You can pick a different vessel that you like. And remember, originally this drink is called to be served out in a hollowed out pineapple. So you can put it in any kind of serving vessel you like. Just make sure it's large enough. And we're just gonna pour all this goodness right into there. Yeah, there we go. All right, next I'm gonna add a tiny skosh of ice to tap this up here a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's good on the ice side. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is, we're not done. We still need more rum in this because there's not enough. And what we're gonna add in here is an overproof rum. So any overproof, good quality, dark Overproof rum will work here. I wouldn't go for like a Bacardi 151 or an El Dorado 151. They're a little bit lighter, not as dark. They don't have as much depth of flavor. They're good and they're tasty, but they have a lot more of the younger aged, kind of lightly aged kind of taste to them. So what I would recommend is a good, dark, heavier oak flavor that we're looking for on it. So like a Demerara 151, like a Lemon Heart & Son, Hamilton 151, that's also really good. To be quite honest, I've never tried it, but Hamilton's brand new Beach Bum Berry Zombie Blend, that's an Overproof Navy strength too. That might actually be pretty tasty on here. I'm gonna have to give that a try one time. But I'm gonna go with my old reliable here, Plantation Old-Fashioned Traditional Dark. And we're gonna need 3/4 of an ounce of this guy, and we're gonna float him over the top. So for the float, nice and easy here. There we go. Cool thing is when you float that over the top, sits real nice, like right there on the top. It also kind of deflates a little bit of that pineapple foam. All right, let's garnish this guy up now. Wipe down the board here a little bit. Okay, so from the garnish side, I like to keep this a little bit simple. I don't like to overcomplicate this one. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to do a little bit of dehydrated wheels. So the first thing is we're going to start out with a little dehydrated pineapple wheel. This has the rind on it. This is from Cocktail Garnish Company. You heard me talk about them a bunch. There's a link down there below that you can go and pick up. Use that link and you get a discount of 10% off your order. And you can pick up some great dehydrated garnishes just like this. I love the pineapple because it's not too overly dehydrated, so it's still a little pliable, which I think you want from a pineapple. So it kind of bends around the glass there a little bit. Looks nice. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a blood orange. I think looks nice, and we're going to grab ourselves just a lime. I like the way they kind of stand out here in the contrast to them, and you know what, you don't always need to put the fruit peels of, that you actually have in the drink. I like to make it a little mysterious sometimes and give people the option of something that isn't in the drink. I think that looks real nice here. We're going to grab ourselves a nice Woodrow coaster. I love these guys right here. The Woodrow coaster, the rustic style, beautiful. I'm going to serve that guy up, and now we just got to finish this off with always our Surfside Sip straw. We're going to grab our little tiny turtle guy here on our blue bamboo straw. Remember, link below, pick these up, use code RUMRUNNER20, 20% off every order. I'm going to slip that guy down in here, just like that. Beautiful. There you have it, everyone. Justin Oliver's Bumboat. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, I love this cocktail because, you know, this is kind of reminiscent of what we think people kind of expect of a tropical drink, which is that sweetness, that pineapple sweetness that comes through in that pineapple flavor. It's a big proponent of the flavoring here, and no surprise there. It's 2 ounces of the juice are inside of this, but it's not overly sweetened and it's not overly pineapple-y. It's a sweet drink, but it's not all pineapple. The lemon juice in here mellows out that pineapple quite a bit, but still keeping that citrus brightness to it, so you have a good fruit, tropical fruit flavor. But the surprising note that's in here is the spicy flavors that kind of play into it. The cinnamon matched with the tiki bitters, that tiny bit of nuttiness that comes in here from the almond extract, which gives that sweet kind of almondy flavor to it. And then this good high quality. It's so important that you get a good quality rye, is you'll get really excellent spicy flavors coming through on it, from the oak, from the grain, from the mash bill, and especially ones with really good mash bills like Few does. Really, really spicy. And that plays really nicely in with cinnamon, and it plays great in with the depth of spice that comes through in the tiki bitters. Now, to round all that out and in dealing with all that spice, you're getting this lightly aged rum that kind of helps to smooth over that spice, so it's not too much, but it's still there, still present. But then you have this distinctive rum kind of flavor coming through, where you have a little bit of hogo, a little bit of funk coming through, and it kind of takes on just a little bit of subduing down all these competing powerful flavors in the drink. And then on top of that, you're in for a big surprise. So I'm not a stirrer. I don't like to stir overproofs into a drink. I like to leave them until the end, and you get that big, like, evolve kind of changing cocktail as you let this kind of melt and it works its way in slowly. Each sip, sometimes you get a little bit of that overproof, sometimes you don't. I like that. But if that's not for you, you can always stir this in. What would that do? Stirring this in would provide a little bit more powerful or punchy of a rum drink. So you're going to get a lot more rum flavor in it, but you're also going to get a lot more jolt of kind of like it's a little boozier. But on top of that, it'll change the flavor of this drink dramatically. Overproof rum put inside of drinks that are very citrusy forward, or I shouldn't say citrus forward, let's say citrus accentuated. So it subdues the tropical down quite a bit, brings the spice up even a little bit more, and then has the big competing flavor being rum. So you taste rum and spice with some citrus. So if that's more of your speed, give it a stir and then give it a taste. But there you have it, everyone. That is a fantastic end of summer type cocktail that I encourage all of you to make. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in today for our episode on the Bumboat. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a little bit more about rum and about tiki, and also about how other spirits also fit inside of tiki and not just rum. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button down there and get notified as soon as more videos come out. Also, check out these other videos that we have down here. We have them on tiki, classic cocktails, and original cocktails made by me. Thank you all so much, and until next time, everybody, Kole Maluna.